going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So obviously after yesterday's bloodbath, I am not surprised to see some green today. So this is good. We're back. Everything is up today as to be expected. Finally, we're back up again over the $204 billion mark. Bitcoin dominance sitting at 53.6%. Bitcoin itself sitting at $6,380. Ethereum up 6.43%. That's very good to see. We were getting rumors that they were about to change their logo, so it's good to hear that Ethereum's going back up as well. And if we look at the biggest gainers of the day, PRIZM, which I've never heard of before. We have Bitcoin Private, Zcoin, Nano, 10x, Basic Attention, Qtum, Wax, Bitcoin Gold, and Ardor. So if we have a look at PRIZM, yeah, very, very, very low volume, guys. Only 31,000 US dollars, and it is currently only on BTC Alpha. So I would not touch that one, guys, because that looks like it could be a risky one. Anyway, so moving on. Bitcoin volume surpasses over-the-counter gold market. So financial researcher Nick Carter has run the numbers and found that Bitcoin has officially surpassed the over-the-counter gold market so far in 2018. So the OTC gold market is on track to settle USD $446 billion, while Bitcoin is having a volume of $1.38 trillion. So not only has Bitcoin's volume surpassed the global OTC gold market, it has surpassed it by about 200%. This is a good indicator that Bitcoin has become a major asset class. And on a side note, Nick says, stop turning my tweets into news articles. So I guess technically I just did it again. Sorry, Nick. Anyway, moving on. So what does a surge in Coinbase customers mean for Bitcoin adoption? So Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, has told Bloomberg that last year the exchange was dealing with up to 50,000 new customer signups per day, suggesting that between the years of 2017 and 2018, we saw the biggest surge yet in the popularity of crypto. Well, we definitely know this, guys. We had that retail boom late December, early in the beginning of this year. So he says the technology is going through a series of bubbles and corrections. Each time it does, it's at a new plateau. People's expectations are all over the map, but real world adoption has been going up. So clearly you're seeing the volume beating out gold. You're seeing over 50,000 people sign up, last year to the early beginning of this year. So you are seeing a lot of volume, a lot of people getting involved, but the price wasn't exactly reflecting the excitement for it, I suppose. Also, that being said, Brian Armstrong also, he was over at the let's see what it was. It was the Players Technology Summit in San Francisco. So if you guys are interested, this is about 26 minutes long. I'll drop this for you guys if you're interested as well. I also wanted to say that Ethereum's Joe Lubin says that mass adoption and crypto bull run is incoming. We live in exponential times. So long story short, it says in this interview he recently had, he says that the past year's surge in value was a bubble and the ecosystem is stronger because of it, even as price has recently been tumbling. So the blockchain is in an early phase and could be compared to the internet in the 1990s, but the development is happening much faster than it did back then. Therefore, we did not see just one bubble as we did during the dot-com bubble, but we have seen 6 bubbles in Bitcoin so far. We've seen 6 big bubbles, each more epic than the previous one, and each bubble is astonishing when they're happening, but when you look back, they're just like pimples on a chart, he says. He also argues that traders are driving the prices and volatility, but even though the price moves up and down, the development of core infrastructure is not slowing down. And that's actually a pretty good point to make, because when you go back and you look at even just Bitcoin and the history of it, and you see these little crashes that happened back in the day, like this one was massive and that one was massive, and then we had this little one right here. So all of these little crashes, right? Imagine what this one's going to look like once the chart is right way off the top. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. But guys, of course, it wouldn't be a Bitcoin video without some Bitcoin bashing. So you have Bill Harris. He was the CEO of PayPal from 1999 to 2000, so for 1 year, he was the CEO. So he has notoriously called Bitcoin the greatest scam in history earlier this year. So now he goes on to CNBC, and he opened up the segment by first calling the community surrounding crypto a cult and then slamming down all of its features. The cult of Bitcoin, as he says, makes many claims that it's instant, free, scalable, efficient, secure, globally accepted, and useful. He says it's none of those things. In what world was the internet globally adopted in 9 years? This article asks. Out of all people, a former internet-centric company CEO should know that adoption is far from an instantaneous process. The article also goes on to say not only are his criticisms wrong, but the former PayPal CEO forgets to point out the most important thing. Bitcoin is a decentralized network which facilitates uncensorable, immutable, and cross-border transactions. With what legacy payment system can you move hundreds of millions of dollars of value across the world in 10 minutes with less than $1 fee? You have a pretty good point. You know, Bitcoin, it might be slow for everyday transactions, but when you think of sending huge, large sums of money across the world, it's pretty tough to argue that Bitcoin is one of the best solutions moving forward. So let's talk about some coin news, guys. Got to get into the coin news real quick. So we have more coming out of Tron and BitTorrent. So basically, BitTorrent has just been elected as a super representative status of Tron. As a super representative, BitTorrent, a P2P file sharing platform, will see considerable income. Justin Sun, Tron's founder, was also recently elected super representative of the network. The organization, which has previously faced criticism for lack of centralization, now faces more backlash as concerns grow. So I don't really know. I mean, this is something that we kind of assumed was coming, right? So it's not really that big of a surprise. You also have the Blockport platform integrating with Bitfinex. So it says next to Bitstamp, we are very excited to announce that we will be officially integrating with Bitfinex as a second external exchange. This means we can list a broad range of new coins and tokens to our platform in the upcoming months. In a total, Bitfinex supports 90 plus crypto tokens and coins with high liquidity, which can potentially be added to the Blockport platform. So that's really good news as well. You also have this statement coming out from Icon in regards to the IconX issues. So they said that there were some issues. Mew recently updated their API, so the Icon wallet was not able to load or show your ETH or ERC balances. So they said that they've basically taken care of this and the Icon team is going to continue to monitor it. The swap is working fine, but they do say that you should upgrade to the Chrome IconX 1.0.2.22 and then everything should be fixed. Also, ETHOS and Simplex. So we knew about this before. So they're basically establishing a relationship, and it says, as ETHOS expands its service offering, Simplex is proud to play a fundamental role in offering seamless, easy conversion between fiat and cryptocurrency while ensuring transactions are completely fraud-free, says Nimrod Lahavi, CEO and co-founder of Simplex. We are able to achieve this thanks to our advanced machine learning AI algorithms and broad accumulated experience as security experts. So this is exciting news, and we're definitely interested for this to come to more places. You know, I want to see ETHOS in the US. I want to be able to have an alternative to Coinbase readily available. So this is something that we're definitely looking forward to. Also, got to say, I have not heard the name Nimrod in quite some time. Come to think of it. Yeah. Anyway, moving on, I wanted to give a shout out to Nuggets News because he did an excellent video coverage on exchange tokens. He did Binance versus KuCoin versus Huobi versus Buybox. This is something that I was thinking about doing, but, you know, it looks like you got to it before I did, Alex. So, you know, good on you. I'll definitely drop a link in the description if anybody's interested in really understanding the key differences of all of those as well. We also have this chart from Bitmain that recently came out. So apparently, not only are we to be concerned about the amount of Bitcoin Cash that they earn, but it also appears that they have over 900,000 Litecoin as well. So obviously, in a response to Bitmain being, you know, the monster of crypto, whatever you want to call it. So you basically have these coders renew efforts to fork mining giant Bitmain off of Siacoin blockchain. So new code is set to be released that would make obsolete the mining hardware designed by Bitmain. So Obelisk is the company. A startup that aims to offer alternative mining equipment for the protocol has proposed code that would give running the software the option to exclude Bitmain's ASIC miners by changing the rules so the machines are no longer compatible. This will give the Sia community the ability to fork and could invalidate all non-Obelisk Siacoin ASIC miners on the forked chain. So there you go, guys. They want to give the power back to the everyday average user. We've seen this before. We had things like Bitcoin Gold come out that wanted to kind of give back the mining power to the everyday average person. So I'm not surprised, and I would expect to see more of things like this in the future as people get more concerned over centralization of these mining pools, etc. Also, good news, we have Square. It says they're expanding its cryptocurrency services across the U.S. Its subsidiary Cash App announced that American users can now use the application to buy and sell Bitcoin in all 50 states. So this is really good news. Previously, this came out earlier in January, but it wasn't available to everybody. So now all 50 states finally will be able to use the Square app. That's adoption, guys. Also, so what is this? High Times is now not accepting Bitcoin in its IPO, according to an August 13th filing. So the decision runs the counter to the company's August 3rd announcement, where it stated that it would accept cryptocurrencies in order to attract investors. So while they did initially claim that accepting cryptocurrencies in their IPO would make it the first traditional stock offering ever to accept investments in digital currencies, the SEC file states that the announcement was a mistake. The announcement was a mistake? That's an interesting announcement, to be a mistake. I don't know. Maybe something came up and they just decided that they didn't want to get involved with the legal issues of it or something like that. We also have the Lightning Network due for a privacy boost. So that's according to Dr. Ayo Akinyele, a computer scientist who has focused his efforts on building a Zcash implementation of the anonymous off-chain payment architecture called Bolt, and told today that they've previously... What does it say? And told that work was published on GitHub. Oh, so the Lightning Network has solved the initial issue with scalability, and now that gives us the opportunity to deal with privacy problems. That's the strength that Bolt has in its design. So using the blind signatures and zero-knowledge proofs, Bolt obscures transactions, balances, et cetera, et cetera. So basically, there you go. Now you have a private Lightning Network, Bolt. Also, guys, the Jamaican Stock Exchange has selected Canadian fintech company BlockStation to facilitate the trading of digital currencies. So, honestly, without going into this, guys, this is just more opportunity for the everyday average person to get involved. So that's really good news as well. Also, guys, on a random unrelated crypto side, not crypto related note, I just came across this article. It says the FBI says there's going to be a huge bank heist in the next coming days. They wanted to warn their customers' accounts could be targeted by a worldwide ATM hacking scheme. So the attack, known as an ATM cash out or unlimited operation, is expected in the coming days and will likely take place on a weekend or after banks have been closed. According to information obtained by the FBI, hackers will steal data by gaining access to bank systems or payment card processors. They'll then alter bank data related to fraud control, maximizing the withdrawal limits and even the amount of money in each account. Then, using the stolen information, they could withdraw large sums of cash from ATMs worldwide in the space of only a few hours. So, I mean, this isn't really crypto related, but it just kind of goes to show you that there's still a lot of issues in the traditional system as well, clearly, with centralized servers and being able to hack stuff like this. So I don't know how they know this much information about that, but that's pretty crazy. Yeah, I'll leave that in the description. Just check that out, guys. See what it's all about. So also, before we go, somebody pointed out an Easter egg in the game Hearthstone. So you have the baleful banker, and if you read this, it says he's gotten big into cryptocurrency. So that was pretty cool. And then also, this is just an interesting graphic. So invest in blockchain. They made the periodic table of cryptocurrencies. So it's basically, it's got everything in, platforms, privacy coins, gaming, mining, and it's all kind of just put in a nice little visual, I don't know. Kind of cool, guys. That being said, thanks to you guys. You guys basically wanted me to get up with Matrix, so I will be doing an interview with Matrix that should be out later today. So thanks for everybody that wanted me to talk to Matrix in the Telegram. You guys are awesome. That video should be coming out tonight. And that being said, guys, I want to say thank you so much for coming back to my channel. You guys are amazing. Everyone that's been liking, subscribing, commenting really, really means so much. Everyone that's been joining the Telegram chat below, getting involved. You guys are awesome. Yeah. So that being said, guys, my name's K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.